from that Park Place. Walt Disney World quietly reopens Hall of Presidents with no advance notice or comment. Trump will have a speaking role. This by Marvin Montenaro on the day that it actually happened, June 29th, 2025. And for the full report, here we go. President Trump returns to Hall of Presidents, cast members kept in the dark on surprise reopening.
This is shocking to me. When I got there and I heard that the cast members didn't even know, that they were told that morning, hey, get to Hall of Presidents, it's reopened.
I was shocked as you, Marvin. I mean, I'm over there on a Sunday morning, I do believe, doing the edits for that Park Place content there. And I was like, okay, well, let's go ahead and do this. Not expecting any news to drop. And then all of a sudden, one of the biggest attractions at Walt Disney World reopened without anybody knowing, including cast members on that day. Now, apparently, they did update a couple of things, not just obviously Trump and putting him in the oath of office position, but also too, I guess they have some proppage next to him. It was a golf glove and some golf balls there, and I believe a book. So, no fancy aviators like like the former president received.
You should put a book button there. That would have been amazing. And they could have even put Coca-Cola sponsorship on the Hall of Presidents. See, Disney, you just need to call me here. I can help you from all this stuff.
Yes, indeed. Well, as the story implies, yes, they did actually update the figure this time. It no longer looks like Hillary Clinton, as this article points out. It actually does look a lot more spot on to the president. This was version 2, actually, a non-speaking version of Trump that was in the back during Joe Biden's presidency, and now the new version. I'm going to go ahead and play some B-roll, actually captured in part by not only Marvin, who did an excellent job of getting down there and getting a version of this so we can upload it to the channel, and hopefully all of you saw it, and hopefully all of you enjoyed it, but also Ron from Follow the Bradley's Fun and Block Mickey. Guys, your thoughts on all of this? Trump 3.0.
I mean, he looks a lot better. He definitely looks a lot better. They definitely actually put some elbow grease in. But the way they rolled this out was shocking to me, because why, you're opening the Hall of Presidents right before the 4th of July, and you do it quietly like a thief in the night. Like, nobody even knew it was open. People were shocked as they were walking by. I heard cast members like, oh yeah, no, it's open. We were surprised too. And that's something, because you have to be trained on these attractions. Like, you have to rehearse like a lot of the show spiels and stuff like that. And these cast members were just kind of thrust back into it. I mean, the cast members, when you're in the rotunda here, they give you a full rundown on like what the Great Seal of the President of the United States of America is on the floor. All of this they had to do with no prep time, I guess. I mean, I'm sure they're reading it off of a piece of paper, but still, I mean, all of a sudden you show up to work, you think maybe you're going to be working over at Philhar Magic or something like that, and then all of a sudden, nope, Hall of Presidents, it's reopened, and nobody knows about it. And the show is unchanged. It's pretty much unchanged, I believe, since the Biden version of it, because I remember the original Trump version had a lot of stuff about Walt in the movie, and there's none of that stuff anymore. That was, I believed at the time, a Disney trying to make the attraction more about Walt and less about the presidents. But that went away with Biden, and now it's pretty much just the same video, only now it's Trump taking the oath of office instead of Biden.
That's very interesting. I did not quite know that. I didn't pick out precise changes in the actual show itself. More focus on this figure right here that you're actually seeing on screen. Thank you so much, Marvin, for that. But it's interesting to hear that there have been some changes, and there usually is always a little bit of meddling when it comes to this kind of stuff. Culture.
I thought it was weird that they ended with YMCA, but I don't remember that from the previous version.
He does give the 2 thumbs up. I believe his original animatronic did. Okay.
He gives the 2 thumbs up, and he does the when he's doing the oath of office. I'm not sure if it's the same one that he did last time or if they had him re-record it. I would assume it's just the same one from last time. I noticed he put special emphasis on defend the Constitution of the United. It was a very Trump thing to do. Like, it was kind of like, hey, Disney, Constitution. Like, it was, I don't know, it was strange. But this is uncharted water for them, because this is the first time since the Hall of Presidents has been open that we've had a president elected to 2 non-consecutive terms.
Yes. That is a very interesting little tidbit about this, right? Because I believe the announcement doesn't it go from Biden to
It goes from,
Obama,
it goes from Obama to Biden. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean
yeah.
that tracks because
fair.
they don't say Theodore Roosevelt in two
Right.
different locations either.
Because
Ah,
well,
I
he was
see,
a
I see.
three-term guy, so
Yeah.
and he also well, never mind. I won't start talking
I-
about Theodore. I won't start talking about the Roosevelts. I'm
just thrilled that it's open again, guys, because I'm a Rutherford B. Hayes stan. You know. Sorry, Jonas, go ahead.
Yeah, you
This
could
is
just
a
see
villain,
Woodrow
no more
Wilson and
help.
LBJ and all those guys. It's going to be great there. No controversies at all. Culture, what could have led Disney to the decision to not only not talk about this almost at all, but also to secretly open this on a Sunday morning, you know, in a fashion that even cast members didn't actually know in advance? What could have compelled them to do this, something like this?
I think that it's a kind of a head nod to the fact that they were trying to get prepped for, you know, our great celebration of the 4th of July. But I think at the same time, they did not want their weaponized activist crowd to get wind of this and to, you know, throw a big stinky because they're very capable of that. And I think that probably is really the only reason to do it this way. You know, I've always enjoyed the attraction, the rotunda area, everything else. Of course, I enjoy the rotunda that's actually in the Epcot attraction. But when you look around and you see all the sites in here, and the staff is very well trained, and I imagine they just put somebody in here that knew the speech by heart because they'd been working in the building forever, so I wouldn't have been too concerned with the short notice. But what I'm surprised by is they actually, for the first time, actually honor Trump here, which I'm curious if it wasn't part of the deal that Disney had to make for their snuffleupagus settlement, that they had to be kind to the president.
Do you think Trump even knows that the Hall of Presidents exists?
Oh, certainly. Yeah, he talks about that it's a shame that the greatest theme park has had issues. I think he's said it on more than a few occasions about.
I just always assumed that if he was aware of the Hillary animatronic that they made for him the first time, he would have railed about it, and he didn't. He also didn't point out that it was open again. I thought he would bring some attention to it.
I don't know what would, again, I mean, he's not exactly super thrilled with Disney right now, but that's another conversation.
I actually have,
I may have to bring it up to rub it in their faces. That's a very Trump kind of thing to do.
I think actually Donald Trump did mention something about this in a recent press briefing. Let me go ahead and see if I can get it on screen right now here.
To announce today, my animatronic is back front and center at the Hall of Presidents in Walt Disney World. It is big and beautiful, just like the big, beautiful Bill. I don't know, but you might have heard Bob Iger came to see me last month in the Oval Office to discuss his new park in a little place called Abu Dhabi. Maybe you have heard of it. I said, Bobby, my old animatronic was a pathetic piece of garbage. He said, sir, don't worry, sir. We have our best people working on it, so I am back and better than ever. Thank you, and let's make popcorn buckets great again.
Okay, so that's AI. Let's be real. Let's just be upfront. That was AI, right?
Absolutely, yes.
It's a shame that I have to ask.
All right. Well, yeah. There's been some Trump clips that are pretty close there, and he seems to be set to random on some of the things that he'll talk about in real life.
Yeah.
I also, because of the platform that we're on, we now have to label this clip as
yes, we do. Yes, we do. But I couldn't resist, Jonas. I just couldn't resist. Compliments to Mark M. Montenaro for that. Thank you so much for making that up. It was a good laugh right there. But hopefully, you know what, the the additional check mark that we actually do right now on YouTube was worth it, because I thought that was pretty funny. But look, on this animatronic, I will say give compliments to the Imagineers. They actually did, take it a little bit more seriously this time.
They did not suck this time. Yes.
Did you know they did address it last time? Do you have the clip of that?
And I don't think that's fair. I tried the best I can.
What?
Wow, I did not know that they had actually put a statement on that. Yeah, it was pretty terrible, I must say.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
Kind of. Is, just to be a little bit there. But hey, look, listen. In all seriousness, I actually did do a better job. I will say his collar, a little loose right there, and it creates a little bit of a neck seam.
A little loose. Anyway.
Well, it was.
It's a little loose right there, I must say.
I'm shocked they didn't have the iconic red tie, though. I guess no, because I think Bush has a red tie also. I was about to say it might stand out a bit too much on the stage. But
if you compare all three versions, he's wearing the exact same thing every single time. Let's see if I can get that photo up. They cover it, but he's wearing the exact same thing.
Why spend on wardrobe?
Yeah, and it seems like to me it's the same body as before, but definitely a new face.
It moves like a 9,000-year-old mummy. They really need to work on the animatronic because it does not look good, or at least it doesn't look good on camera.
I mean, I thought that animatronics had made this great leap forward. Remember when they changed Pirates to change the auction scene? I remember there was a lot of talk about the auctioneer and how he's one of the most advanced animatronics, who just moves so fluidly, and he moves very fluidly. This, I mean, this moves like a robot. Like it's just straight up like move. You could tell that's a robot.
Yeah, it's not as nearly as impressive as I think it should be, but am I shocked that Disney didn't actually spend the money to do Trump right? No, not really. And it's the same. From what I can tell, I've watched it very, very closely. It seems like the same movement profile as well. So, same body, everything like that. Do it fast, 6 months, boom. There you go. In time, by the way, for 4th of July. That's cool. So, there you go. Hall of Presidents 3.0, Trump, open.
Yeah, they fix him with the same fanfare that they refill the Beverly at Club Cool.
Yes, indeed. Dan's Life of the Kingdom with the $4.99. Disney didn't want to announce it because they know people would up with MAGA gear and Magic Kingdom to see the Hall of Presidents. That's my opinion.
I don't think that's why.
Can you even imagine if they actually sold super patriotic Disney merch outside of the Hall of Presidents? Like, I know that they don't do merch outside of the Hall of Presidents for respectful reasons, but there's a part of me that's like, as long as you've commercialized everything, why don't you? Go ahead, put some American flag stuff in.
Well, they'd make $1. We can't do that.
No, so there is I was actually surprised. I was in the we actually just have a story up on that Park Place right now about Pride merch in Disney this year and how it was so scaled back because the Emporium and Creations had only 2 tiny little like kiosks for Pride merch this year, where normally it's just a rainbow explosion. But I also noted while I was there, they have quite a bit of like America merch this year. They've got like the red, white, and blue Mickey, and like there's a lot of there's some decent 4th of July merch there this year. I was actually very surprised. They just don't sell it in Liberty Square for some reason.
Well, they also did some bunting on the Liberty Bell. That's really going to be great.
Did they also put Lightning McQueen on the Liberty Bell? Did I see that online?
Well, the problem with the bunting though is that they don't use the approved blue of the American flag. They use a dark navy blue that's so dark it's almost black. So like you can look at it and then not immediately realize that it's the American flag.
Yeah, that's no good right there. Don't like that. I don't think they were afraid of people like MAGA showing up. I think they were afraid of other people showing up, maybe protesting this whole thing. So I think that was the whole
they were afraid of a hippie drum circle popping up.
Yeah, think about it. Who have been responsible for peaceful demonstrations lately? And I say peaceful in quotes. Left, right, you can figure it out.
No Kingdom Day.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.